Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am back, and my name is Tyler, and across the interwebs from me is Tad.
Hey, we got our sound effects back. Woo!
Oh man, last week was just a blur. I went to Chicago for my son's high school graduation, and compared to graduations around here where classes are about 100, in my neck of the woods, to his class, which was 470, and it's not in a high school gymnasium, it was in a rented theater. I just was blown away by the grand scale of things.
All right.
So
So this is the last time I talked to you.
yeah.
I was in Pittsburgh the last time I talked to you.
Yep.
All right. And so I went to a ball game and I went to Doom Planet and Ides. And when I was coming home on Monday, I got to have a fantastic lunch with Lillian Generoso in Cleveland.
Oh, that's right.
Um and then blew a tire out on the Ohio Turnpike outside of Sandusky.
Oh no.
uh, which thankfully I have AAA, and thankfully my aunt and uncle live closer to there than my house is from there. It was still a couple hundred miles. So like I got towed for almost 100 miles and then drove a hundred and like 140 miles on a donut and a there was another tire where like the wires were showing. So there was another tire that like was ready to go.
Oh man.
But I made it. I made it. And thankfully the discount tire in Benton Harbor even had the uh the right size tires for my car.
Sure.
So it wound up being, a few hours of frustration and then extending my vacation for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Though it did like throw off my internal clock because now I came home on Wednesday, but because I had thought of myself as coming home on Monday, you know, Friday felt like Wednesday,
I hear you.
and then first week of summer school with all of the attending figuring things out issues, and that's how I wound up sleeping in on accident this morning. So sorry about that, Tyler.
Oh, no problem. I
Um,
I am the one who has to apologize. I've been so busy with
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
this summer I'm not doing my summer art class. I'm working with my wife in her daycare. Um
Okay,
so I decided we're gonna do that together over the summer because she could really use the help with taking the kids
right,
out of the house, especially.
right.
So I'm daycare dad, which is really fun. I'm used to working with kids 7th grade through 12th grade, and now I'm working with these birth through 5-year olds, which is a lot of fun. We've been doing some cool art projects and things
Very,
like that.
very cool.
And things like that.
Um, so, um, I mean, you're moving, so when is the daycare getting shut down? Or are you not
We
shutting down until you
we are looking at our
officially know?
Yep, exactly. We're looking at our
Yeah,
first house next weekend. We're going up to
yeah,
where we're hoping to move to, and so we're looking at our first house up there. I'm really hopeful. So if we like the house, we'll list our house, and then
okay,
because we didn't want to spook our daycare parents, because if one end doesn't go through, if the house we're buying doesn't go through, or the house we're selling doesn't go through, now we've let the cat out of the bag that we want to move.
right.
You know what I
Are you
mean?
job hunting too?
Yeah. Yep.
And hopefully none of your daycare parents are podcast listeners
No, they're
because
not.
you just let it out of the bag.
Yeah. No, they're not. And if it happens, it happens. I just don't want to spook
Right.
anybody into
No, I
quitting
get it.
quitting the daycare you know, before we're
Right.
ready. Um,
Right.
but it is what it is. So yes, I'm
Yeah.
job hunting up there for the high school is the Minnewaska Lakers, and so there was a graphic design position that I was going to apply for. Um,
Okay.
Basically teaching kids how to use Photoshop and do some screen printing,
Cool.
and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I mean?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, so this is all why Tyler and I have no idea what's going on in the comics world this week. We did a quick run around looking for comics news and didn't find anything that like caught our attention. Uh, the Trump and Supreme Court world is too depressing to get into, so we're just gonna skip straight to new to order. What
Sure,
what do you say, Tyler?
that's fine with me.
The hell with news today.
Fine with me.
He's like, I do that every time, Tad. So Tyler, tell us about Duck and Cover.
Duck and
I've
cover.
actually read it because it's a Comixology original.
Yeah. It's Scott Snyder and Raphael Albuquerque. I love Raphael's artwork. I
Yeah.
think it's
Oh
just
yeah. It's
phenomenal.
fantastic.
This is a manga-influenced teen adventure set in the strange post-apocalyptic America of 1955, from the team behind the seminal Vertigo series, American Vampire. That was
It's so good. It's on Comixology already.
yeah.
It's coming out in print. So it just finished on Comixology, or at least it was left in an open-ended way so that there could be more. But yeah, I really enjoyed this series.
Yeah, I can't wait to read it.
Um, I'm looking forward to this one too from friend of the podcast, John Harris Dunning and Ricardo Cabral, and Dark Horse Comics, Summer Shadows. Nick Landry is on an unspoiled Greek island of Avraxos to look for his ex. Anthony was the love of his life, and without knowing why he left, Nick can't move on. But Anthony isn't the only one to disappear on Avraxos. Coast Guard officer Alekos Perkolos is on the trail of another young man missing on the island. They learn they both fell in with the glamorous set on board a jet black super yacht, the Nix, before vanishing. As the mystery deepens, Nick and Alekos discover that the brighter the sunshine, the darker the shadows. Uh, John Harris Dunning, Ricardo Cabral, Brad Simpson, and Jim Campbell from Dark Horse Comics.
That looks really cool. I'm watching American Horror Story right now, and the season that I'm on is this 1980s New York City. The gay scene is
Okay.
pretty underground at that point, and guys, different gay men are going missing all over the city because there's a serial
Right.
killer targeting the gay men of the 1980s. Anyway, this kind of
Yeah.
not the same as this book, but it just kind of reminded me of
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
boyfriend going missing.
Um, Next one that I wanted to talk about, and I loved the first volume of this, so I'm so happy that they're doing another.
Mm-hmm.
Survival Street, Radical
I
Left.
love the title of it, Radical
The, the
Left.
the political satire action adventure hit series returns after America is sold off to private companies. This ABC team of ex-entertainers rescues kids from cruel company towns, but Portland can't hold everyone, and the cracks are about to break. Prepare for a radical departure in the series' library journal called a blistering satirical mashup of Sesame Street and RoboCop, a candy coating of pop culture madness humor, cartoonishly absurd hyperviolence, and just enough hope to keep holding on. From James Osmus, Jim
That's the,
Pisante, and Abile Kusinov.
that's the best description ever. Absurd,
Yeah,
hyper
it's
violence, and just enough hope
yeah,
to keep holding on.
yeah. I just the first volume was just out of this world. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
We still have to get them on. I keep reaching out. I had a great conversation with James at C2E2, but we haven't managed to set something up.
So the whole X-Men universe is resetting itself as of
Yeah,
this
Bob
summer,
actually talked a little bit about this when he was on with the Kill Your Darlings people.
which is fine. The Krakoan era is run its course. They always said it was going to be 5 years.
Right.
That's what was said at the beginning. So I mean, this is the right time. And so this is the new X Factor, which is being written by Mark Russell, art by Bob Quinn. Fame.
That's the Bob that I was talking about. I got ahead of us.
Okay.
Bob talked about this a little bit when he was on for Kill Your Darlings.
Yeah,
So we'll have to have him back with Mark to talk about this.
I would love it. Fame,
Yeah.
fortune, mutants. From the ashes of Krakoa, a new mutant arms race sweeps the globe. International governments are building their own mutant armies, but only America's X Factor has the most powerful, most patriotic, most marketable mutant heroes to stem the tide and make the world safe for democracy. Join Angel, Havoc, Frenzy, Feral, and Pyro, and more as they go from one death-defying mission to another. Who will die? Who will fall in love? Who will be the first to sell out? This is, the first of, I think, probably 6 or 7 series that are restarting the whole X-Men
Yeah,
universe.
and there's some cool people working on it. Gail Simone's doing a book. I can't even remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love it that Mark Russell is doing this. He
I
seems like
know I'm
such.
going to be reading at least one X, or well, at least two X books, really, because I mean Gail Simone and Mark Russell. I have to.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So yeah, and some collections worth talking about. I'll
yeah,
give you this one, and hopefully we'll talk to Matt Borsch
J-
soon. I've been in discussions with him.
sure. Justice Warriors. This is volume 2, Vote Harder, from Matt Bors and Ben Clarkson. Art by Ben Clarkson. Time for election season. An all-new graphic novel continuing the hit futuristic satire Justice Warriors. Now in its 3rd printing. It's election time in Bubble City, the ultra-safe enclave for the rich, surrounded by the dangerous mutant district called the Uninhabited Zone. Veteran Swamp Cop is pulled into a clandestine operation, a violent mission that will put him on a collision course with his beloved partner Shit. Co-created by cartoonist, publisher, Pulitzer Prize finalist Matt Bors and Adult Swim filmmaker Ben Clarkson. This looks really cool. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, the first volume was great.
Yeah,
So
it was.
so
And
this one,
this is volume 2. Vote Harder.
yeah, I guess this is we're in graphic novels. They're not doing single issues this time. It looks like they're just going straight to the vote harder.
That's
Uh,
okay. I kind of like that.
yeah,
When they switch it
I'm
up.
all for that.
What do we got
So
next?
here, I'm looking at Night Never Ends. So from Silver Sprocket, and Steve Lucin comes The Night Never Ends, a horror comedy graphic novel about turning 30 and also accidentally catching the attention of a killer cult. On the Friday before Kate's 30th birthday, she convinces her friends to go back to her hometown to celebrate. The plan: break into an abandoned house and hold a seance, just like she did in high school. As the friends join hands over the Ouija board, an unsettling real scream splits the air. What started as a fun way to relive their punk adolescence before accepting the weight of adulthood turns into a night of fleeing, bloodthirsty cultists. Can they find a way to get out of the suburbs alive?
Hmm.
This one just looks fun.
It does.
And then, are you doing barbaric or
You're doing barbaric?
I'm doing barbaric.
Yep.
And you're doing feral.
Yeah.
All right. Barbaric, Born in Blood, Michael Morisi and Nathan Gooden. A new era of barbaric begins. We did it. The thing everyone says they're doing, even when they're lying through their teeth. A genuinely good jumping on point. How, you ask? Well, it all starts with a compelling new bad guy. Meet Auric, the tortured barbarian who turned master torturer, who will take us deep into Owen's past, revealing secrets that should have stayed buried, like accident in a chest cavity, slurping up that sweet, delicious blood. Will the cursed to do good barbarian finally do some actual good? Probably not. But some much worse guys will almost certainly lose their heads. Yummy.
Yummy. I love it. Michael Morisi, what else
And
has he written?
Nathan Gooden he's done a lot of stuff,
Okay,
but they're killing it on barbaric.
for sure.
Killing it on barbaric.
And just like Tad said, next up is Feral from Tony Fleeks and Trish Forstner, Tone Rodriguez and Brad Simpson. Meet Elsie, Lord Fluffy Britches, and Patch, three indoor cats lost in the not-so-great outdoors during a nightmarish rabies outbreak. Without their humans to protect them, the cats must find their way home without getting eaten by the zombie-like horde of beasts on their tails. This is collecting issues 1 through 5 of the smash hit ongoing series from the creators of Stray Dogs. I just read Stray Dogs again because I'm working at a library now, and I saw it on the shelf, and I'm like, you know what? I read this in issues when it came out, but thought it would be fun to read in trade. So
Yeah, it's so good.
mm-hmm.
So, final order cutoff this week for the collected Beyond Real from Zach Kaplan and a collection of fantastic artists from Domain number one from Chip Zdarsky and Rachel Stott, writing the comic that goes along with Public Domain, the comic. Yeah. If you've read Public Domain, you'll understand what I mean. Friday, book 3, Christmas Time is Here Again. Ed Brubaker and Marcos Martin. You know, we didn't even know that when we planned our Great Responsibility for this week. So it was just one of those fortuitous occurrences.
That's awesome.
The Last Wardens number 1, Elliot Spurl, Emmett Tischler, Ruiz Silveira at Mad Cave. I've fallen behind on updating our crowdfunding again, but I can say that the Traveling to Mars hardcover is funding right now on Kickstarter. Mark Russell, Roberto Melli, Ablaze Comics. You've got till June 27th to get your order in. So yeah, good stuff. Tyler, 3 amazing books.
Did you read Cult of Lamb?
I have not read Cult of the Lamb yet. I kickstarted it, so I'll get the trade when it comes out. And I saw that it went up on, or at least the first issue. I don't know if the other ones will go up day of, but I saw that the first issue is up on Global Comics. I just didn't get to it this week.
Mm-hmm. It was really good. But
Packnettle's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was really good. I know we're kind of short on time, so I was just going to not rush through them, but just kind of.
We're doing okay at this point.
Yeah,
we caught up.
Yeah,
it's only 8:12.
True. Cult of Lamb from Alex Packnadle and Troy Little. This was out from Oni. I just really love Oni books. They've got this flavor.
They're doing good stuff again. They're doing good stuff again.
Yeah. Anyway, I downloaded this one last minute, and yeah, I can't wait till I get it in physical format as the whole graphic novel.
Yeah. Right.
And then this one.
Your number 2 is my number 1.
Yes. So
I literally read it right before we went on air.
Love Everlasting number 15 from Tom King and Elsa Chaudier.
The last issue before an indefinite hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Wraps up just enough to be satisfying and leaves just enough open that it's like, please, please, please don't let it be a forever hiatus.
I know. I hope not.
So
it was good. And then
yeah, I don't even know what else to say about it without like giving stuff away.
Exactly. But get out there and read it. And then this one I included because this is kind of it is a milestone issue. And I was kind of in the dark about that it was coming up because X-Men has been rebooted over and over and over. And in the day, it was called The Uncanny X-Men back in the day.
Right. It's actually X-Men and then the Uncanny X-Men and then X-Men again and then the Uncanny X-Men again and then X-Men again.
And then they created a second X-Men story in the 1990s.
Yeah, there was a period where there was Uncanny X-Men and X-Men.
Yes, exactly. So the past 5 years, I've been reading X-Men. And then all of a sudden, on the shelf on Wednesday, there's Uncanny X-Men, which we haven't seen an Uncanny story in over 5 years. And there's the Uncanny X-Men number 700. And I'm like, these legacy numbers that Marvel Comics is doing, it's a unique way of, having their cake and eating it too, where they get to reset with number ones, but still have those numbering going on. I didn't know they were doing this with the X-Men at all because the legacy numbers have not been on the issues where,
I mean,
this is just,
did they give a page where they explained how they get to 700? Because sometimes I think that they just make it up.
Mm-hmm. No, they did not. Anyway, I listed all the writers here. We had Al Ewing, Chris Claremont, Gail Simone, Jerry Duggan, Jed McKay, Kieran Gillen, and Phil Noto.
Yeah.
Doing art. It
Right.
was good. I really liked it because I'm
Yeah.
such a huge X-Men fan. And
Well, I
these,
mean, just looking at the writers involved, it kind of looks like it's like handoff to the new team too,
yeah, and I like that they included Chris Claremont. The
right?
old school X-Men
Right.
writer with the new. It really, all the stories in it were good.
Right.
I included it on here more so for the numbering issue than
Right.
actually the stories,
I get it.
Uh, but man, there's been a rash of $10 books lately. Um, you know, this is one of them. So if you're interested in the X-Men and the reboot that's coming up, pick up Wolverine
And have 10
35.
extra bucks you're willing to pay
Yeah, exactly.
pay two comics price,
I
three
know.
comics price almost. Yeah.
What were your three amazing new books?
Well, Love Everlasting we already talked about. The Mammoth #1 from Paul Tobin and Arjuna Susini. I Paul Tobin just does fantastic work.
Yeah.
And this is like a supernatural mystery um with like archaeology and science thrown in. I don't even know how to completely explain it except that it was just really cool.
I'm gonna check it out.
Um and then, well, and Mad Cave is just killing it. I'm so happy that we've started to develop a relationship with some of the people at Mad Cave to hopefully talk even more with them because
Yeah.
they are killing it.
Yeah.
Um, and then, oh, and I'm gonna emphasize and paying people
And paying. Yeah.
on time
That's awesome.
via direct deposit. And then, my number three here,
This is a surprise.
I yeah, it's a
Not because of
surprise
the
that I was
writer.
reading it. Yeah, no, Kelly Thompson is like why I was reading it and why it's not shocking that it made my list. If you told me that I was going to have one Kelly Thompson book on my top three this week, I
Hmm.
would have assumed that it was going to be Birds of Prey. Oh my God, Scarlet #1 was good.
Was
I,
it?
I, I just action packed. It reminded me of some of her best Black Widow issues.
Uh-huh.
Um, like perfect balance of like character development and like breakneck crazy action.
Uh-huh.
Um, it was just fun. I like a fun comic. It was fun. Um,
I know.
and
I'm
now I
gonna
want a Scarlet action figure.
do you?
I do.
That's
Well, I mean, it's this exact. We talked to Box Brown about this is exactly what those old TV shows did. I gotta go buy the GI Joe action figures. I gotta get my He-Man toys.
yep.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Now I
is
want a Scarlet action figure. I'm
it's
gonna be checking Target every time I'm there. Not, I always go check like the superhero and Star Wars action
I
figures
do
for
too.
anything that looks cool.
Me too.
I'm now gonna be. I'm not to the point where I'm looking at all GI Joes yet, but I'm gonna be looking for a Scarlet.
That's fun. And I'm pretty picky about which action figures I buy. So I don't go down there if
I'm not always.
you're not. See, I'm like
I mean, I am and I'm not.
yeah. I
I
just
mean,
don't have the space for a collection. So
I don't either, which is why they're all just scattered on my desk in front of me or in bins. They take up less space when they're open, Tyler.
yeah.
I'm just telling you, when you open them up, they don't take up as much space.
That's true. I don't keep all of my toys closed, but a good number of them. Those little ones like that, those ones I open. Ooh, yeah, Fantastic Four.
I actually opened
Doctor
this
Doom.
for Jeff Smith.
Oh, okay. So anyway, this
I mean,
Scarlet
I planned to
series.
open it. I just hadn't gotten around to it.
It's fun.
So yeah,
This Scarlet series is 5 issues, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm gonna wait for the
And
trade, but I'm definitely going to
really,
read
really
it.
dug the first issue.
Cool.
So let's get some great responsibility, and it's so funny that it's final order cutoff for the last graphic novel
Yeah.
because, you just said, hey, is there some noir crime book that you haven't covered on the book club
Yep.
that you want to do this week? And I shot a couple of options. Initially, you want to do hard case crime, and then you looked at Friday and it's like, I changed my
I
mind.
did. Yeah, I went out to the site that you had said that I could get Friday from, and I'm like, this sounds better. Not that
I
hard
mean, I,
case.
I don't know if I'll say better
Sure.
because they're different,
Yeah.
but this is, I mean, I guess I'll go better in that I don't know that there's anything else quite like this.
No, this is a good coming of age story for these young kids,
Right.
or I mean, these young
I
adults.
I mean, it's like imagine Hardy Boys, Three Detectives, Encyclopedia Brown, Nancy Drew, only like 2 years later.
Yep. Yeah. Early 20s, late
Not
teens.
the grown up version, just the oh, we're going to college in different places version, and now we're coming back together, and we have all of those extra baggage that comes from
Yep.
hormones.
Yep. Well, and they have this strange relationship.
Right.
Our characters are, they've got interesting names. One of them was Jones. What was his first name? Lancelot.
Um, uh,
Lancelot Jones.
Lancelot Jones
Yep.
and
And
Friday Fitzhugh.
yeah, Fitzhugh.
Um,
Um,
well, and I also love that it wound up like, and mind you, this was like perfect timing.
mhm.
A little history for everybody. First, Panel Syndicate, and anybody who doesn't know Panel Syndicate should go discover Panel Syndicate.
It's
They
like
don't put
band
out
camp for comics.
yeah, they don't put out a lot. It's actually Marcos Martin came up with it. They don't put out a lot, but what they put out is exceptional, and it's pay what you want. I encourage you to pay them. I encourage you to go back and pay them again. I know that I have. Um,
Yeah, I originally paid. This is a funny story. I told Tad this off the air. When I went out there, I saw issue 9. That was the first one that popped up, and I mistook that for all 9 issues, and I'm like,
right,
great, I'll pay $10 because I was intending on paying
right.
$1 an issue, and then nope, it was just issue 9. So issues 1 through 8, I've paid $1 for, but
Whereas, for me, as long as I have it, I generally pay $5 the first time I download
okay,
an issue.
yep,
Um, if I don't have it, I'll download it for free and go back at some point. Um, After that, I'll if I need a copy and it's not convenient to like go pull it off my computer or whatnot,
yeah,
I'll just go ahead and download it to my iPad from their site for free. And or go, oh, I feel like kicking Alex DeCampi or Victor Santos. It doesn't need the money as much, though. I do kick it to Marcos, Marcos, um, but whatever. Um, I'll sometimes kick a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, or every once in a while when I like reread something and love it, I'll and have the money at that moment. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna pay for it like it was a trade paperback. Here's 20 bucks.
mm-hmm,
Um, and I think that's not a horrible model for comics, particularly because um they still can put them out in print, as we just talked about with Friday. Um, I mean, the downside is they don't get their money up front,
true.
which, it's really hard for a lot of creators to do the work
Yeah,
before they get paid.
yeah,
So yeah, for that matter, Umami, da, 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 da. Ken Nimura's book is great that
yep.
it's there. The first volume is there, and it's languishing right now because it hasn't sold well enough for him to do more. That was something
Mm-hmm.
that came up when we were talking. So it's an interesting model, and I love that it's there, and I love to plug it because the more people know about it, and hopefully don't just download the comics for free, or if they do download them for free, download them for free, go, oh my God, this was amazing, and go back and pay for them.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I kind of made the mistake because I'm new to it. to Comic Syndicate. So I wasn't sure once I bought it if I made the mistake of buying it on my PC. Okay,
Right.
so I felt like I was stuck with reading it on my PC, and I don't enjoy that. I'd rather read it on my iPad. But I wasn't sure
Right.
how to log in to my. Do I have an account with them, Comic
You don't.
Syndicate?
You
No.
don't. It's set up so that, and I think they did this just for ease of access, since you have the option to just get it for free
Yeah,
rather than having an account, rather than keeping information, blah blah blah.
just download it again.
If you want to go back to download it again, you just take it for free.
Okay. I did.
You
I
know.
don't like doing that. I do that on Bandcamp every once in a while when there's a band I really want to,
Right.
because this is a similar model as that.
Right.
Um, anyway, so I'll do that
Yeah.
for ongoing stuff that I read from
Otherwise, I
Panel
mean,
Syndicate. But
you can stick it in like a Google Drive folder and then access it from there.
true, yeah, because I've got the
So,
downloads
I
on
mean,
my PC.
there's lots of ways.
But I really enjoyed it right off the bat.
Yeah.
We're
Back to Friday itself. The history. So, and it was like dumb luck.
hmm
Uh, this book came out on, I think, March 19th, 2020.
Okay, COVID just hit.
Like literally the day the world shut down.
Yep.
So the first volume had like overwhelming sales because it was just as it was announced that, oh, there won't be new comics next week and we're not certain when we'll get them back.
hmm I remember the dark
Um,
days.
but there was a new Ed Brubaker book, Pay What You Want, available on the internet. I mean, I remember getting the email from him announcing, and he's like, I swear to God, I didn't start this pandemic as a marketing tool,
Funny.
but can't get to the comic shop. Hey. Um, and when you read that, just that, if you'd only, just reading that first issue,
hmm
um, I think I thought it was going to be more of just a straight mystery.
Yeah. I
Uh,
wasn't
uh,
expecting the relationship to be front and
well,
center.
no, I picked up on the relationship, but I wasn't expecting the supernatural. I wasn't expecting the time travel. I
Uh-huh.
wasn't expecting all of the weird. But I love how to put this. It could have been a train wreck that they
Uh-huh.
added all that stuff,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't.
When they
It,
first introduced it, I
instead it was like this wonderful homage to like a certain genre of books and all of the different variations on that genre.
when I first came across it in like issue 3,
Right.
I was that how early it was? Anyway, I literally went, "What the fuck?"
Right.
And then I'm like, "Okay, I'll give it a chance." Cuz it shifted gear. It really did.
Yeah.
Went from them trying to figure out this mystery, and he got burned. Should go back. These two, Friday and Lance, are friends from middle school. He was
Yeah.
he was 2 grades ahead, yet he was her age, but he was super smart. So he's like the Encyclopedia Brown. She's like the Nancy Drew. They solve mysteries, and they grow up. And right before they're about to go off to college, they decide to turn their relationship into a physical one, and it didn't go well. It was very awkward and weird for them. And then she left for college. She just left like the next
Right.
day. That would have been
Yeah.
so weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, anyway,
Well, and I think I also and I really noticed it even more this read.
uh-huh.
Like every chapter, and this is all the more impressive because they went ahead and made them whatever length they decided to make them.
Yep.
Like chapter 2 is almost twice as long as chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, chapter 6 is ridiculously long comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You have that freedom when you do a digital comic,
oh yeah, but also every chapter. I love this page.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one where this is like I'm Tyler and I are looking at a page
It's like a
where it's
splash page. Yeah.
well, but it's got books of their cases.
Yep.
So it raises the question, um, how real is this? You know,
Uh-huh.
is this one of those characters from a book world thrown into whatever? Um, but anyway, I was really impressed with both the impressive, not just cliffhangers, but teases that each issue ends with, but then doubly so for the the 3 and 6 issue where the trade paperbacks are going to end.
Yeah.
I mean the tease for any major new twist comes at the end of like episode or end of issue 3 or the end of issue 6.
Mm-hmm.
The end of issue 3 is
The fire, I think.
yeah, but it's yeah. Yeah, the end of issue 3 is like, oh, wait a minute. So Lancelot might not. Yeah, end of issue 3 is when it becomes Lancelot's murder mystery.
Yep.
Um, End of issue 6 is when we discover, oh, wait, we're not dealing with humans.
Right.
I mean, there'd been some hints at that with the White Lady in the forest, but it was only hints because it wasn't like
Because she was dreaming about the white lady. She thought it was a dream.
right, right. First you find out that it's not humans, and then time travel.
Yep.
She goes back in time right at the end of issue 6. So,
You're
like,
right.
if you're reading it in trade paperback form, the last thing you see at the end of the second trade is her up on the bridge looking down at the train that she is on.
Uh-huh.
So I love how they introduce each element as like a twist in the issue,
Exactly.
as a cliffhanger tease.
Mm-hmm.
The pacing is just brilliant. Um, Marcos Martin's art is always great, but I think he outdid himself here. Um, yeah, I can't recommend this book enough. And you can read it for free if you so choose. I encourage you to pay them as much as you can afford, and certainly as much as you feel like you get out of it. Um, Totally worth having in the paperback form that comes out from Image. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I've
can't.
I've been a Friday fan since day one,
And this is one
and
I
I
hadn't
just
heard about.
realized that
So
I keep walking over you. So tell me more about your Friday experience.
that's okay. I really like the way. I mean, this is from a new perspective. Um, where it's not like you said, it's not your typical noir. It's not. It's got, like you said, time travel in it. It's got love. It's got romance. Well, sort of. It's got all these elements, and I was not expecting that at all. When I asked you, and this is kind of what happened when we read the Western that I had suggested a couple weeks ago. It turned out it's not
Pulp,
really a Western. Pulp,
right?
yeah, it wasn't really a Western.
It's what, and ironically, that was Ed Brubaker too.
Yep,
No, it's what happens when Sean Phillips asks Ed Brubaker for a Western.
yep. It's Western-esque, and then same with this. This is noir-esque, but it's so much more than that, and it's so
Well,
good.
and did you read any like Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, Three Investigators,
So what I read was
or Three Detectives, like
like
the old?
I read like
Like,
spin-off Hardy Boys
ki-
where it was like their
okay,
nephews. When I was a kid,
okay,
there was a series of like Hardy Boys Junior or something like that. Um, so I did read that kind of book, but I didn't read Hardy Boys themselves or Nancy Drew. Um,
okay.
I read Boxcar Children. I don't know if you
I read
remember that.
Boxcar Children too. Yeah,
Yeah, I read Encyclopedia Brown.
right.
Um, yeah,
So, I mean, when you look at that like genre of stories,
yep,
those middle grade slash young adult, before young adult was even really a genre,
yeah,
right? So, I mean, we're talking the old like the books that Ed Brubaker grew up on, books that our parents grew up on.
yeah,
Um, there was a pretty wide range of like what level of realism there was,
true.
right?
Yep.
For that matter, you can throw choose your own adventure in here too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where okay, we've got these kid adventurers or kid. And I love that there was the moment where like the detective or not the detective, the sheriff's like, yeah, I could actually be getting in trouble because apparently I endangered you kids,
Yeah, exactly. I wondered that from the
which is something
beginning.
that never got dealt with.
I wondered that from the beginning when Lance is
Right.
riding along with the sheriff.
Right. Well, but again, that was sort of thing that was, I mean, Encyclopedia Brown, all sorts of books
Yep.
like had that as a thing. Um, so I love how he kind of, I mean, it's a love letter to an entire genre of books that doesn't really exist anymore. I mean, we our YA books now tends to be either much more realistic or much more fantasy or
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yes.
Um, so I really enjoyed how he took like all of the quirky elements from this entire genre of
Mm-hmm.
books that I don't even know how to name from like the late 50s and 60s
Yeah.
into the 70s. And it's clear, I mean, just looking at his other books, Reckless and Criminal and whatnot, that Brubaker was like that kid that like devoured
Yep.
books.
He would go to the drugstore. You could tell he would go to the drugstore and off the spinner rack grab, the newest pulp, and
Right.
I could definitely
Yeah.
see that.
You can tell that Brubaker spent a lot of time at the library or had the parent that like just kept him up to date. He went from like Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew and three investigators, I forget which it is, to your Richard Stark and your Donald Westlake and your
Yeah.
I say that as if Richard Stark and Donald Westlake are different people. Um,
Hmm.
Lawrence Block, Mickey Spillane, um, yeah, uh, he's just got such a rich tapestry of influences, and I love the way he weaves them together in a way that works.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's
I did not.
so
I did not
easy,
feel at all that this was convoluted. What the heck am
right?
I reading?
Well,
Um,
and part of it is that he doesn't try too hard to explain. Never explains how Lancelot put together a time traveling watch.
no, no. All he had to do was explain at the beginning that Lancelot was a genius and that he was
Right,
He was 2 grades ahead of Friday. I keep wanting to call her
right.
January, but no, Friday. Um, and that's all they had to do. So you just assume that he's that smart. He should be able to do that.
Right. Well, and later there's the magic introduced, and she finds the book of spells. So so he's a genius, and there's magic in this world. So as a genius, he'd be able to learn that too. Fine,
Yep.
we're done.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there's an art form to giving just enough that it doesn't become unbelievable, while not explaining so much that it becomes unbelievable.
I agree. That makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, because if you don't have those little elements to go, okay, in the rules of this world,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, while not trying to explain the rules of the world so much as like,
It's
man, you're
it just
taking some liberties with physics
yeah.
and time and
Yeah. You need to leave it open ended so
um,
that you have room to play later.
right.
So I liked it. I,
Yeah,
I
no,
it was a great
I it's such
great
a
responsibility pick.
it was such a good book.
It was. And are we going to start our
I
next
think we
great
should.
responsibility of One Piece? Are we going to
Yeah,
start that
let's
next week?
actually set this up in case anybody wants to do it with us. And this is
Yes.
where I'll also throw out, if you really want to do it with us, 22 panels podcast at gmail.com. If you're seriously doing this with us, we will invite you to join us. Um, we're gonna do One Piece, but rather than setting out, okay, we're reading this many chapters this week,
Or this
etc.
volume or this.
Right. We're both getting our Shonen Jump subscriptions for $3 a month,
Yep.
and we're gonna race. We're gonna see who can finish One Piece first. We're gonna see how long it takes us to read One Piece, and we're gonna race.
Yeah.
Um, so anybody who wants to join in with us, some of you, who knows, you might even be ahead of us by multiple volumes already. So you can come laugh at us. Ah, you Johnny come latelys.
Yeah. I don't know if
But
this
what
is fun, smart, or stupid.
I don't know, but One Piece is coming to a close. And
we both have wanted to read it,
yeah,
but I've been intimidated by its length.
incredibly intimidated.
So I'm just like I don't even know
I
what.
mean, it's like 105 volumes if you're buying it physically. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this except that Shonen Jump is a $3 a month subscription.
Yeah. So honestly, if we can get it done in 2-3 months,
That would be amazing.
that would be amazing. And for $9,
Particularly if we're actually reading the other comics that we have to read to do interviews
and
and have our books that we think are amazing,
yeah,
etc.
yeah. I honestly don't know how long it'll take me.
Yeah,
I
we'll
couldn't even
find out.
guess. I couldn't. So me
Find
throwing
out.
out a couple months is just a guess in the dark.
I mean, thankfully, manga often moves quickly,
Yeah.
particularly action manga.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah.
Okay. I got to download
Even as we
Shonen
lay
Jump
this
today.
out, and here we laid it out on the air, so like we're stuck now.
I know. Now we're
I mean,
that's
my,
why
my mom and John are going to hold us to it.
they're gonna do it probably too.
My mom might
Yeah.
actually. John's daughter might.
Mm.
Yeah, John, talk to Abby, see if she wants to join us on this. Get her Shonen Jump subscription. I know John's daughter is very into manga. So yeah, One Piece.
I
We're
think
gonna
Phil listens. He'll probably do it.
yeah,
Or does he already read One
possible.
Piece?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out.
All right.
We'll find out. I might reach out to some creators that I know that read One Piece as or read manga as well. See what we can do.
Okay.
It's our great One Piece challenge. We're going to
The
start
Great
from
One
the
Piece
beginning
Challenge. I like
and
that.
and barrel through it. Well, because I mean, the longer you go with something like this, the less the conversations are new and interesting
I agree. I agree.
each week.
Yep.
Um, this is so long that I think it's worth doing, but like I think it's worth doing in a way where we have as few conversations about it as possible while still reading it all.
Yeah. I agree.
Uh, So,
I agree.
yeah,
I'm looking for Shonen Jump right now. Their app
I get it.
on my iPad.
I actually subscribed while you were talking earlier.
Funny. Funny. I'll be doing it this afternoon, so.
Right, right.
All right.
So,
So, Tad,
yeah.
what are 3 books you hope will be spectacular next week?
Uh, well, from friend of the pod, Doug Wagner,
Yeah.
Daniel Hilliard, Plastic Death and Dolls #1. It's the origin story of everyone's favorite serial killer. Um, And then Ain't No Grave #2 from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. I loved the first issue of this.
Uh-huh.
And then Night People #4 from.
Did I read? I'm
to
trying to think
check
if I
that
read the first one. It sounds so familiar, but I don't recall.
From Barry Gifford, Chris Condon, friend of the podcast, and Marco Finnegan.
Mm-hmm.
I had to actually reach out to Chris Condon last night because all the promo material says Marco Finnegan for this issue, and there's been 4 different artists, so I was expecting Marco Finnegan.
Yeah.
But the cover photo that's up has Brian Level's name on it. Brian Level was the artist for issue 1, and I'm like, did something happen where Marco had to pull out and they had to ask Brian? So I had to text Chris Condon. I'm like, who's the actual artist on?
What did he say?
It's Finnegan.
It's Finnegan. Okay.
And he laughed that there are 1,116 chapters so far in One Piece. The next chapter is coming in 8 days.
Okay.
They have announced an ending is coming. So that's the other goal. Can we get there before it ends?
Okay.
Let me see if we can get
a date.
While you talk about your books that you hope will be spectacular.
Sure. Well, there's a new series starting from Dark Horse called Into the Unbeing from Zach Thompson and Hayden Sherman that looks really cool.
Really good.
So I'm looking forward to that. Napalm Lullaby #4 from Rick Remender and Bengal from Image has been awesome. I just caught up on that. And then Remote Space #1 is a new series from Image written by Cliff Rathburn from Walking Dead, I think he worked on. Do you remember Cliff Rathburn at all?
I feel like he did at least some cover work.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a new series from him called Remote Space that looks really cool. So yeah, that about does it for us.
So One Piece, it's going for 30 years.
Has it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
As we enter what he has deemed the series' final saga, there's some expectations. Do we have a date?
Well, anyway, Tad is looking that up. So, yeah, we've got our Patreon that you guys can go out there and become patrons of our podcast. That would help us out tremendously. We currently
we have our one patron, so
patron. At least we have a patron.
Yeah. Other people are welcome to give us money. It'll pay for hosting, maybe pay for our Shonen Jump subscriptions.
Yeah.
And all the comics we read for people.
But anyway, we'll be back next week, and we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you guys after the next page. Later.
Officially January of 2025.
Perfect.
So we might actually be able to catch up and then do like a weekly check-in as we get to the end. That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
So now we'll catch you after the next page.
Later. Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.